Now that you've learned a little bit about color in Adobe Illustrator, it might be fun to play with working with some symbols, some stock shapes that come with Adobe Illustrator. In this first demonstration working with symbols, we're not going to get too deep into the symbol instance relationship and duplicating symbols, but we will talk about how to access the symbol panel in the symbol libraries. We will introduce you to your symbol sprayer in the toolbar, how to resize and rotate symbols once they have made it to the artboard. Then we'll expand a symbol's appearance and then edit that expanded symbol. So let's take a look here at this symbols floating panel, which is accessed by clicking on this icon, or you can find it under Window, scroll down until you find Symbols. So I bring up the floating panel and I can select a symbol. And notice how if I just click, if I have not the sprayer selected, if I just have the selection tool and I click the symbol in the library and then I go to the artboard, nothing happens. Let's bring up a new fresh document, and you can just use whatever default states that come up. What if I click and drag? I can click and drag to bring a symbol from the library and it becomes an instance of that symbol on the artboard. I can do a couple of things to this at this point, but not like you would normally expect. Notice how I don't have my usual cast of characters here in this control panel. Like I don't have access to fill, color, and stroke and various normal things that I'm used to looking at in the control panel. And even if I try to change color by double clicking and then using the color picker, it does nothing to the instance of that symbol. I can do things to this using the symbol stainer tool. I have this green fill color selected, and now if I use the symbol stainer and click a couple times, I can stain that symbol this green color. I can make the symbol larger and smaller using the symbol sizer tool. If I just click on the artboard, it defaults to expanding the size of the symbol. If I hold down my Alt or Option key on the keyboard and click using the symbol scaler, it scales it back down. So scaling up, Option or Alt key to scale down. I can also rotate the symbol using the symbol spinner. And if I click and drag, I can spin that symbol around. So there are a few things that I can do using the tools here to the symbol, but not like we would normally be used to using the control panel. Let's do another thing. Let's choose another symbol, and instead of dragging it to the artboard, I'm going to use the symbol sprayer tool. If I click once using symbol sprayer, it puts one instance on the stage. What if I were to click and drag? That's another way to get an instance of the symbol on the stage. And I can hold the Shift key down and scale it using scale tools, or I can use the symbol sizer if I wanted to do something a little more quickly. It has this nice flow to it, the symbol sizer tool. Can I still stain this symbol? Well, I can using the symbol stainer tool. And I can do other things to this like spin it around, but we won't see much in that case if we're spinning a circle around. But you can see the bounding box update. And you can see how it changes the location of that gradient in the center as we're spinning that around. So there are a few things that I can do, but I have to do that these tools here are related to the symbol in the symbol library. Now what if I didn't like any of these symbols and I was sort of bored with them? I can access other symbol libraries by clicking here. And I can maybe make some arrows on the artboard. And bring those up, and let's just expand them so you can see. So there's a lot of different arrow types that I can choose from. Click one, and then using my symbol sprayer tool, I can click once and add one. And notice how this one was selected. These two are grouped. If we actually looked into the layers, you can see that it's calling it a symbol set. And that is because one symbol was already selected on the artboard, and the default for Illustrator is to see these two as a set. So I can undo that, edit undo, or Control Z. I can deselect that item. I can click away, deselect it, and then I can select another arrow that I might want to use. Get my symbol sprayer tool. Spray once by clicking, and it puts that symbol onto the artboard. What happens if I click and hold with the symbol sprayer? If I click and hold, it puts numerous instances of the symbol onto the artboard. So that's what click and hold using the sprayer does. That might be interesting if perhaps you had selected from the symbol library leaves or grasses. If you wanted to put a bunch of flowers down, it might be a quick and dirty way of adding a bunch of symbols. Now this item is actually an instance of the arrow on the artboard. If I wanted to actually break that link and do particular things to this, if I wanted to expand the appearance, maybe I like this symbol, I can go under Object and Expand, Object and Fill, click OK. Now, if I zoom in and look at the arrow, you can see the familiar endpoints that are available to me, and I can click and edit those endpoints if necessary. I can add fill and stroke and all the familiar things that I've been learning about color I can now do to that symbol on the artboard because I had expanded its appearance. Let's see that again. Let's choose another symbol. Let's spray it onto the artboard. And notice how I can't really do anything to that. The color here, if I change the color, it's not doing anything to that symbol. But if I object and expand, now I have the ability to change the color of this item. Let's say if I use my selection tool and it's showing me that this gradient is being used, then I would be able to change the appearance of this item using the various options that we've already learned about using gradient sliders and selecting gradient colors. So it's after I have expanded the appearance of the symbol on the artboard that I can make changes to it as needed. So that's just kind of a brief introduction to working with symbols. Now you know where they are, you know how to access symbol libraries, as well as work with some of the symbol tools. In a later demonstration, I'm going to talk a little bit more of that symbol and instance relationship and how symbols can be used to make multiples, like a bunch of buttons that might show up on a web page or multiple flowers, and how editing the symbol once can change all of the instances of the symbol on the artboard. And that will be at a later demonstration. This concludes your introduction to working with symbols and working with finding various symbol libraries and the symbol sprayer.